So I will continue my rule study here. The Bataille premier rules. The more I look into the Bataille design, this incarnation, the more I like what I see. Does make me wonder, I guess, how different in play experience the other rules are. But I do really like this set. So I'm gonna look at fire here. So there's fire combat here. Fire combat from either musket or cannon was often the preliminary of the offensive assault, while defensive fire was used to blunt the attacking forces. Since marksmanship was an art that was more decorative than functional given the accuracy of the musket, fire can best be imagined as an action against an area, a hex, rather than against a combat formation. A hex may be designated target only once during a fire segment of the chronology of battle. The fire defense value of a hex is determined by the tactical organization employed by the defender and the type of terrain where the defender is deployed. That again is on that table that has each formation in each kind of terrain. Horse sensitive target may also affect the fire defense. Okay, yeah. To fire against a hex, simply total the eligible fire factors and compare this sum to the fire defense factor. Make sure to take into account the number of increments in the hex, the tactical organization, and the terrain. Establish the odds, round any fractions down. Roll the dice and find the result on the fire combat chart. Alright, does an example, which I won't go through. Any combat formation with a fire factor may initiate an offensive fire attack as long as the range and line of sight provisions are not violated. Whenever a modified dice roll falls below 11 on the fire combat chart, the result of 11 will be applied. Masked targets. Anytime a target hex has more than 9 increments, which I just realized is half of the 18 that I've seen before. Alright, there is an addition to the fire attack dice roll. When a unit is in line formation and has more than 7 increments present in the hex, it will have a fire defense of a column. That's an important one to remember. When a unit is in line formation and has more than 7 increments present in the hex, it will have the fire defense of a column. When an infantry unit is in square, or an infantry and artillery unit is in square, the fire defense of the square is 4. Let's see, 4 fire defense. Okay, that is pretty bad for the defense. The die roll for the fire attack is also modified for the total number of increments as outlined above. Other formations may be defined in the special rules. When a fire attack is made through the flank hex of a unit in line formation, the defender will have a fire defense of 5. So I wonder if these particular cases are outlined on the play aid charts. Let's see. If this, okay, to determine line of sight, straight edge or stretch piece of string, center to center hex. If this line at any point intersects terrain which qualifies as blocking terrain or units in good order, then the line of sight is incomplete and the fire attack not permitted. In general, if the intervening terrain or unit counter is okay, this is something I know from many games before. So we're talking originating hex or unit to target hex or unit on different elevations. If there's intervening something that blocks that's intervening, it is not block. It does not block if it is closer to the higher. It's closer to the higher. So how do they put it here? If the intervening terrain or unit counter is closer to the firing unit than it is to the target hex, and the firing unit is on a higher elevation, so that is the higher unit, then the fire attack is permitted. Yes, closer to the firing or higher unit here. If the firing hex is on a lower elevation than the target hex and the blocking unit or terrain is closer to the target hex, then the attack is also permitted. unless the blocking unit... Okay, so first of all, that is the inverse of the first case. However, unless the blocking unit is adjacent to the target and is a friendly unit. I wonder what that's trying to say. Unless the blocking unit is adjacent to the target and is a friendly unit. Infantry fire rules. While in column, only the top unit, regardless of it being a regiment or battalion, may fire. So I guess that's like the front ranks, the front number of ranks. While in line, only 4 increments may be used for fire per hex. Times the fire multiple indicated on the fire effects chart. Example, skip the example. Only 3 increments may fire from a hex while in skirmisher order. Artillery fire rules. When artillery is unlimbered in clear terrain, all increments may fire up to the stacking limit of the hex. In all other types of terrain, regardless of the number of increments, only the top battery may fire. Up to 4 increments of infantry may fire in conjunction with 1 battery if they are in the same hex and fire at the same target. In square, a battery may fire in conjunction with up to 12 increments of infantry. When artillery and infantry are stacked together in column, only the top combat formation may fire. Adjacent batteries may fire upon the same target only if there is a leader in one of the firing hexes and the leader has an artillery bonus. If 3 hexes of artillery are to fire at the same target, then a leader of special ability must be present and adjacent to all 3 firing hexes. Artillery... Oh, wait. Adjacent batteries... If 3 hexes of artillery are to fire at the same... This sounds kind of like the Grand Battery idea. Adjacent batteries... Yeah, this does look like the Grand Battery idea. Artillery in different hexes may, however, always combine their fire if the target hex is adjacent to them both. Okay, so that is an exception. There are 3 ranges for artillery fire. If artillery elects to fire, the battery must fire at the closest target. Yes. Defensive fire. I've talked about defensive fire. Opportunity fire. I've talked about opportunity fire. If the unit gives fire unto a unit changing formation in its zone of influence, the unit which receives the fire does so in its former formation. Okay. Yes. Opportunity fire only has a range of 1 hex. Okay. Retreats before melee. Certain combat formations may exercise an option to withdraw prior to melee combat. This retreat occurs before the pre-melee morale check, but after offensive fire. Units which are thus attacked. Okay, what are we talking about? The attacker may always advance into the first vacated hex, following a retreat prior to melee, and initiate 1 more melee assault. Units which are thus attacked may not give defensive fire. Retreat before combat does not trigger opportunity fire. Okay. Morale. While fire and bayonet did real damage to the body of the Napoleonic Age soldier, the fear of death, dismemberment, and other indignities wrought havoc in the common mind. Okay. Disordered infantry only has half of its printed fire, melee, and movement values. Once infantry is routed, the routed formation may not initiate fire combat. Cavalry which rout moved at their printed movement rates, they may not fire and melee at 1/4 of their value. When the results of the fire combat chart dictate a check. When increments are lost as directed by the special rules for each game. Assault by melee. Here are some general rules when engaging in assault by melee. There is never fire during the melee assault phase. All fire must be concluded during its appropriate segment of the chronology of battle. Combat formations may only assault the hex that they have fired upon. In other words, a unit may not fire upon one unit and melee another. That's been present in at least some other games. Does not say Imperial, attack, or recovery 1 step. Does not suffer an increment loss from fire combat during the Coalition or Imperial player's next fire phase. Coalition Defender recovery 1 step. Oh. They're different here. Does not suffer an increment loss from fire combat during the Coalition. Wait, that looks similar. Basic readiness per turn. If cavalry did not move more than half, no combat or fire losses, improve 1 level of readiness. If cavalry did not move more at all, no combat or fire losses, did not retreat before combat, improve 2 levels of readiness. If the infantry succeeds, okay, I'm going to have to do all of these separately, go through all of those separately. Yeah, this is all about charging. I'll do charging complete separately.